If you have an LLC, okay, and you're looking for, let's say, a business loan from TransUnion, and you want a lender who approves you massively and fast, here is a review I really want you to pay attention to. Number 5, we have a Capital One. Our score, 9/10. So one thing we love about Capital One here is that for an LLC that's looking for a business loan, you have the ability to have a flexible lender. And we love the fact that Capital One, they actually will assign what they call a business loan ambassador to you. And that ambassador, quote unquote, that loan rep, will work with your LLC to make sure that they actually pull TransUnion to make sure that your data is accurate, that you have the paperwork ready. Okay. Now, Capital One, when it comes to LLC business loans, they actually have beyond business loans for LLCs. They also provide business lines of credit. This is really fine. They also have real estate term loans for your LLC. So basically, you're able to build equity with real estate term loans for your LLC. You have business lines of credit. I say it. So lines of credit are kind of cool also because they allow you to improve cash flow for your daily operations. Okay. So you basically, for instance, you're able to take care of payroll, of inventory. You can bridge the gap between your LLC goals and the cash flow required to achieve them. And here you have line amounts that go all the way to 5 million. For business term loans for your LLC, you have term loans that go all the way to 1 million. Okay. Now, the good thing, what we love about Capital One here is that they are very generous. Okay. The only problem is you got to have a relationship with Capital One. And mind you, Capital One is not a national bank. They are present in about 10 to 12 states. So if you happen to be in a geography that is different from their core geography, you're not going to qualify for their loans. Okay. Now, unless you have an online business. If you have an online business and you don't have to be in a specific geography, they'll work with you. But the cool thing here is that you have banker access. So you have that's what I said before, what they called loan ambassador. So you have access to a dedicated business banker to support your LLC needs. So this is really great. When it comes to LLC business loans that pull TransUnion, Capital One is really up there, and a maximum 1 million for term loans and 5 million for business lines of credit. Fantastic. Number 4, we have here Fifth Third. Our score, 9.1/10. So when you think about Fifth Third, I want you to think again about a bank that is not national. Okay, so you have the geo restriction element here, but if you're comfortable with that, if you happen to be in a geography that the Fifth Third covers, this is fantastic. Okay, you are able to access an LLC business loan, an LLC business line of credit. Okay, and all those two, they pull TransUnion. Okay, so, and what we love about Fifth Third here is that you get your cash real fast. They'll approve you within 1 day if you qualify, if you meet all the requirements, and the funds will be available the next day. So you have 24 hours. Like 48 hours rather, not 24, 48 hours. So turn around. Okay. The only thing is that they're not as generous as Capital One. So with Fifth Third, you can only get up to $100,000. Okay. LLC loan amounts go from $10,000 all the way to $100,000. But hey, listen, I mean, 100 grand, I'll take 100 grand every single day. Okay. And those are unsecured term loans though. So there is no collateral required for approval. So this is really good. And we love the fact that with Fifth Third, you have, this is purely like a low doc LLC business loan from a national bank. Okay. So we're speaking about what? Minimum documentation requirements. Okay. If you need more information, okay, just contact Fifth Third right now. Their number is 1-877-534-2264. The one thing I need to mention here is that Fifth Third is actually running their LLC business loan program in a collaboration with Foundation, okay, which is a third party, but hey, it is what it is. And so you're able to find a banker, and with Fifth Third, you can actually finance also your practice. So they offer practice financing. Okay, so they have term loans, LLC term loans, LLC business lines of credit, LLC practice financing. So you can practice if you're in healthcare, for example, you can use the cash for a lot of things. So that's really fantastic. So you can do do practice acquisitions, you can do startups, you can do expansions, you can do remodels, you can actually purchase equipment, commercial real estate, equity cash out. Fantastic. So overall, Fifth Third is a great player when it comes to to LLC business loans that pull TransUnion. Number 3, we have here Huntington Bank, our score, 9.3 over 10. So when you think about Huntington Bank, you are looking at a very solid LLC business lender who pulls TransUnion for massive amounts real fast, okay? And with Huntington Bank, you have a business term loans for your LLC. You have business real estate loans for your LLC. You have a business lines of credit for your LLC. For term loans, you are limited at $100,000. Okay, for your lines of credit, the amount is similar, the maximum amount that is, okay, and similar to Fifth Third. Huntington Bank also they also finance LLCs that are in the dental and vet industry, like the healthcare sector. So if you're a dental LLC or you are a vet practice LLC, you can get a loan from Huntington Bank, not a problem. Okay, so basically this is the type of loans that are like specifically designed for dental and vet practices. There are LLCs, of course, so they actually offer practice financing with flexible terms and competitive rates to help you start, run, and grow. So this is kind of cool. But if you want to start a conversation right now about getting an LLC business loan from Huntington Bank, it's just better to contact them. Like, they are very responsive. I mean, we were surprised. We were really shocked. Like, we called them like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and they always, like, the customer service line, they went up, like, they actually, we get connected real fast, okay? And this goes a little bit, like sometimes Huntington Bank has this reputation of being sort of aloof, if you will, and that's not true. That's really not true at all. So at least this is not our experience. So you can contact Huntington Bank right now, 1-800-480-2001. 1-800-480-2001. So weekdays from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. They don't work on Sundays, so this is really important to mention. But overall, Huntington Bank, when it comes to your ALC business loan that pulls personal TransUnion for a fat and fast amount, our score is 9.3 over 10. Number 2 here, we have Regions, our score, 9.6 over 10. Here is another big player here. We love Regions. We love their banking service. So they do have a wonderful process in place for ALCs at Regions. Like, kind of similar to Capital One, they will assign a banker to you, and that banker really understands everything about ALCs, understand the peculiarities of ALCs, the funding needs of ALCs, and that banker will work with you. That's just fantastic, okay? And you are able to get a loan from Regions, and that loan can go all the way to 100,000. In some cases, you can get all the way to $500,000, depending on the relationship you have with Regions. One thing I want to say about Regions here is that here is a bank that's constantly kicking ass. They're constantly innovating. They're constantly coming to market with new products, new services. Okay, they're constantly revamping their IT processes in a bid to actually serve customers better. Okay, remember that like Regions, similar to a Fifth Third, similar to Capital One, you know, those are really regional players. In some cases, like pretty regional players, because you can't compare Huntington Bank with PNC. You can't compare Huntington Bank with U.S. Bank, even though those two are considered regional, but they don't have the same heft, okay? And you also need to think about the fact that if you want to go with the Regions for your ALC business loan, you do have flexibility. You have business solutions, you have convenience, you have insight. This is really cool. You have community involvement, and in terms of payments, like Regions will actually not payments in terms of loan approval. Regions is really fast, and they will approve you within 2 days. Okay, so in terms of your ALCs, ALC business loans, you have business line of credit for your ALC, working capital loans for your ALC, lines of credit for accounts owned by your ALC. Okay, they do also do like they do SBA loans also for your LLC. So really, you have a constellation of processes in place that will allow you basically to get the loan that you need for your LLC. And they do pull TransUnion, and but for regions, sometimes they will pull also other bureaus depending on the type of profile they see in you. If they see you as too risky, then they're not going to check only one credit report. They'll check all three. Number one, the best of the best, in our view, when it comes to LLC, business loans that pull personal TransUnion, we have US Bank. Our score, 9.8 over 10. One thing we love about US Bank here is that for your LLC, they also have an entire department that actually works with business owners like you. They'll work with you. If you have a problem, just reach out to them. And US Bank has a constellation of business loans for LLCs. Okay, we love that a lot. And so you are able, like, if you go to US Bank's website, they are inviting you to find the best business loan for your LLC. So they have quick loans they have quick loans with an online application for your LLC. So here you have up to $250,000. You have fixed interest rates. So the official name of the loan is called US Bank Quick Loan. Then you have a business term loan. This is really great for your LLC if you want a larger amount. So you have up to $1 million, okay? And this is secured by business assets, and you have fixed interest rates. So this is something that's good to know. And you also have commercial real estate loan for your LLC. If you are in that industry, this will be very interesting for you. You can maybe think about that. And so here you actually have up to $10 million for your real estate loan for your LLC. You have owner-occupied or investment property, and you have variable or fixed rates. So this is really good. And one thing I want to say here also is that it doesn't really matter whether you actually have you have the proper strategy or not. The most important thing here is that you need to actually talk to US Bank and make sure that you are really providing the proper types of documentation. Okay, so you also have government-backed loans, so SBA loans. You have like asset-based loans also. This is kind of important. So the loan amount that they approve usually revolves around $100,000 or $200,000. They do have the cash to actually invest in whatever business model you present to them, though. But the thing is that they're very, very strict. They're very methodical in the type of deals they actually just, maybe I would say finance. Okay, so you're gonna have to do a lot of work to make sure that you present to them like a very, very nice package, like with the business plan. Before I actually close to this conversation, I want to share with you in the overview here. I want to explain to you real quick how to get an LLC business loan that pulls personal TransUnion. It's really important to understand that everything starts with you deciding that, hey, listen, my LLC business needs a business loan, okay? But I know my Equifax score is kind of low. My Experian score is kind of low. In all those three, even my TransUnion is not really where it should be. Okay, but I want to get the loan through TransUnion. I want to have a business lender that pulls TransUnion. So you got to decide why you need the financing in the first place. And you got to actually check your eligibility, okay? You want to make sure that you are able to compare and contrast business lending options so that you are not actually on the wrong side of history, if you will, okay? Make sure that you are constantly having access to a large database of knowledge that allows you to know exactly how to play this element. So you want to also gather, you have to gather the required documents at some point. Like, you can do everything, you can try, but if you don't close the deal, see, you can do the negotiation, you can go to the branch, you can ask questions, you can talk about your LLC, you can talk about your new products, your children. But if you don't close the deal, you're not getting really the loan approved, okay? And the goal into this conversation is to give you a list of LLC business loans, okay? And then you apply there and you just get approved. That's the bottom line, okay? And you also need to submit your application. So when you submit your application, you're not really doing anything like that's really different. You're just trying to make sure that you put things like your name, your business name, so your personal name, your business name, your social security number, right? The desired loan amount and the loan purpose, because again, for AML purposes, anti-money laundering purposes, you want to think about annual business revenue also. So this will be very careful, will be very helpful to you in terms of like laying the foundation, like laying the strong foundation you need to actually be successful at night. Not at night, but be successful in life. Okay, this is really, really important. Let me give you a bonus before we close today's conversation. So I'm just talking to you about LLC business loans that pull personal TransUnion, and I want to actually explain to you how to choose the best LLC business loan for you. Okay, I mean, in the earlier section, I was just talking to you about how to actually how to really go about choosing one. Right now, choosing a lender. Now we're choosing a business loan for your startup or for your LLC. So your LLC business loan right now, I don't know the credit score you have, but depending on the credit score you have, you might be drawn to a specific type of loan versus another, right? If you have a good credit score, you will actually think about applying it at a branch or bank. If you have a high FICO score, you could probably just like apply at any company. This is not a problem. But the bottom line here is that if you want to choose the best LLC business loan that pulls personal TransUnion, you have to think about the annual percentage rate. You have to think about the fees. Those fees are important. Like, it's kind of crazy. People think that the fees are kind of little. Like when you tell them, they say, well, yeah, you know, those are just a few dollars here and there, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy because you can actually end up paying a lot more in fees than in interest, you know, the first year around. So you also want to think about repayment terms. Those are important, so you know you have a clear idea about how long it will take you to actually repay the lender, especially if your LLC is a single member LLC. Like if you don't have any partnership, you just have one person doing the work. This could be problematic because basically what you're saying here is that you are young. I mean, I have no idea about your situation, but you are definitely wrong. And the thing here is that you got to ask yourself whether or not you want to actually apply at this specific lender or another, okay? And so think about the repayment terms and think about the funding speed too. I mean, how long do they take before approving you? Because you have a lot of banks who like to play games. You apply for a loan and you apply for an LLC business loan and they actually wait forever to reply to you. You know, what's up with that? But hey, listen, it is what it is. People are just a little complicated. I mean, some lending institutions are a little complicated, so you can't do anything about it. If you need a loan from them, you just have to comply with their regulations, and this should be really fine. Thank you. Before I actually do a recap here, I want to show you the approach we follow when it comes to LLC business loans that pull personal TransUnion. In our review here, we have number one, we have a US Bank 9.8 over 10. Number two, we have a Regions 9.6 over 10. Number three, we have a Huntington Bank 9 over 10. Number four, we have Fifth Third 9.1 over 10. Number five, we have here Capital One 9.5 over 10. And that's it. Thank you. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.